Sawadee Cop. I have cleaned my bifocals, shined them up. See how shiny they are? See the reflection? My big thick Coke bottle glasses. So I'm ready to read. You ready to learn? Cool. Me too. All right, we left off at 1998, where he learned about services and needing a product to ship. I do want to say, upon further reflection, with services, you can still have a services business, but now the trick is to delegate early and often, right? You don't want to be performing the service like he did. He was teaching the classes. He could have, and I think modern day Tim would probably have thought of this, he could have hired teachers and paid them, right? So he made $1,500 something, right? 3-hour class. He could have paid somebody $500 to teach the class. He would have made $1,000 without having to teach the class. So there is that, right? You can still do service, just you don't want to be the one performing the service. You don't want to ever trade dollars for hours, right? So yes, product good, you don't need to be there. It's easy to remove yourself from a product because you can set it up where you're never there in the first place. But also consider from a service business, you can delegate and hire people. You know, Ray Kroc, the guy who owned McDonald's, wasn't slinging burgers. He hired regional managers, you know, general manager to hire regional managers to hire store managers to hire staff. Right, so Ray was never there flipping burgers. He just owned a fucking company and made millions of dollars, right? Mickey D's. So there is that, right? Service business. Fall 1998, a huge thesis dispute. So when you're going for a PhD, you got to write this huge fucking document called the thesis. And he had a dispute, I guess, in Princeton. And the acute fear of becoming an investment banker drive me to commit academic suicide and inform the registrar that I am quitting school until further notice. Interesting. Okay. My dad is convinced that I'll never go back, and I'm convinced that my life is over. My mom thinks it's no big deal and that there's no need to be a drama queen. Go mom. That's the chick who called him tuna fish when he was born with the crazy eyes and the big fat body. I'm liking his mom. She sounds like cool people. No need to be a drama queen. Abso-fucking-lutely. Yeah. Being a drama queen is a sign of emotional immaturity. And while I've been reading this and while I'm amazed at what this dude's overcome, you can see the emotional immaturity creeping through, right? And I'm not fucking judging, because believe me, when I was 19 to 21, emotional immaturity would have been a graduation for me. You know, I was a psycho. Sick fuck. Crazy fucker, right? So emotional immaturity is a step up from where I was at that age. So I'm not judging at all. I'm just saying you could see it. You could definitely see it through these words, through the way he tells stories. Spring 1999. In 3 months, I accept and quit jobs as a curriculum designer at Berlitz, the world's largest publisher of foreign language materials, and as an analyst at a 3-person political asylum research firm. So that was cool. It was his passion, political asylum. Remember, he talks about that. So he took a job at as an analyst in a firm, but you know, probably working in a cubicle structure, 9-to-5 cubicle jungle, and that just wasn't for him. Like, it's not for a lot of people, me included. Although I did it for 13 years because I didn't know any better, right? Naturally, I then fly to Taiwan to create a gym chain out of thin air. Okay. He's not boring, right? It's not a dull or boring life. You can definitely say that. So he went to Taiwan, created a gym chain, like a series of gyms, out of thin air, and get shut down by triads, which are Chinese mafia. Yeah, there you go. Wow. I returned to the U.S. defeated and decided to learn kickboxing, winning the national championship 4 weeks later with the ugliest and most unorthodox style ever witnessed. Okay, we'll get to that. He talks about that in the book. Remember, I have read the book before, and I remember that. Don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, but I remember reading that in the book. He cheats. Life hack, right? And you'll get to it in the book. But yeah, he absolutely cheated. He manipulated weight classes to win that championship, right? So, life hack, right? He's smart. He used his brain and not his brawn to win a competitive physical event. So, good for him. He's champion. Nobody can take that away from him, right? He got it done. He won a championship. Fall 2000. Confidence restored and thesis completely undone, I returned to Princeton. So he went back to finish what he started. Good on him. My life does not end, and it seems the year-long delay has worked out in my favor. So Mom was right? Don't be a friggin' drama queen. Just go do what you need to do for a year, come back, take care of business. Go Mom. 20-somethings now have David Koresh-like abilities. My friend sells a company for $450 million. There you go. Imagine that. And I decide to head west to sunny California to make my billions. Despite the hottest job market in the history of the world, I managed to go jobless until 3 months after graduation. When I pull out my Trump card, and no, that's not like the guy with the bad hair and the Twitter. That's a Trump card's like the overriding card. It's an old expression. And send one startup CEO 32 consecutive emails. Determined. Persistence, right? Persistence is one of the qualities that makes a winner. So he was persistent in sending emails to this CEO. The guy gave in. He hired him. He's like, anybody who can have the persistence to send me 32 emails in a row is going to do good at this job, because he's not going to quit. He's not going to give up when the going gets tough. I like it. When I was a programmer in the cubicle jungle, I would send out 150 resumes for my next gig. When my 6 months was coming up or a year and they didn't renew me, I'd literally send out over 100 using the fax machine of the place I was working at. Thank you very much. I would fax my resume to over 100 places. So a lot of times it was 135, 150 places. Guess what? I got a job every time. Just don't quit. Be persistent. Don't send out 5 resumes and hope. Send out 150 resumes. You're gonna fucking get a job, right? Because that was what I wanted to do. My goal then was to get another contract, another 6-month to a year contract. That's how I hit my goal. I fucking spray and pray, they call it in the military. Spray and pray. You're gonna hit something. You put enough bullets out there, as opposed to being a sniper, one shot, one kill, right? Both work. You got to know when to spray and pray, and you got to know when to do one shot, one kill. Precision, right? It's different situations call for different solutions. 32 consecutive. He finally gives in and puts me in sales. There you go. Spring 2001. TrueSand Networks, that's where he got the job. He got the job, I guess. Has gone from a 15-person nobody to the #1 privately held data storage company. How is that measured? Good question. With 150 employees, what are they all doing? Another good question. I am ordered by a newly appointed sales director to, quote, start with A in the phone book and dial for dollars. There you go. So I don't know how good a salesperson Tim was prior to that, but that happens a lot in corporate America. You get some douchebag. Remember we talked about the counselor yesterday, the admittance counselor in high school, telling him he couldn't get into Princeton. So here's some asshole, mid-level manager, sales director, and he read in a book, that dialing for dollars is the best way to do it. And he would never dial for dollars, or if he did dial for dollars, he wasn't any good at it. And here he's going to try to force people below him to do this grunt work. So opportunity, success sometimes come disclosed or hidden in overalls. Like very famous saying, I agree, I get it, I understand, but it's also smarter to think like Tim. Is this the best way to do the job? Is dialing the phone book the best way to prospect? No, it's not. But the sales director lacked the knowledge, the experience, the mindset to figure that out, right? That's what happens when you're smarter than the person you're working for. Happens all the time. So dial for dollars using the phone book with A. I ask him in the most tactful way possible, why are we doing it like retards? Nice. That's one way to handle it. Say boss, why are you fucking retarded? Why are you a dumbass? I'm sure I like this guy. You might be from Jersey. I'll have to check if he's from Jersey, because that's a Jersey answer. You know, your boss tells you to do something, you call him a fucking retard. I love this guy. He's awesome. Tim is the man. He says, because I say so. Not a good start. There you go. Imagine that. Because I say so. The same shit as the kindergarten teacher. This time he didn't go to the small table and get his mouth washed out with soap. This time I'm guessing he quit or was fired. And then it's 10 minutes in. Laser focus. I'm going to keep it short. That's it for today. More good stuff about Tim. The more you learn about him and his perspective on things, the better off you'll be. Your income's the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, you're spending mornings with me and Tim. How fucking awesome is that? I'll talk to you all later. Take care.